Okay, let's unpack this really interesting story coming out of Sucker Punch Productions. We're doing a deep dive today into the finances behind their next big game, Ghost of Yotei, and specifically how its budget is making waves in the whole AAA gaming world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to explore this kind of paradox for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this budget being called, reasonable, not cheap, but actually smart, strategic?
Mm-hmm.
And what does that maybe tell us about where big game development is heading?
It feels like such a shift, doesn't it? Because the trend lately seems to be bigger, and always way more expensive for sequels. But then Brian Fleming, one of the Sucker Punch co-founders, basically just cut through all that noise.
He did. He said for Ghost of Yotei, the development costs and the man years, that's how they measure the total work involved,
Right.
are looking very, very similar to Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. Very, very similar. And that comparison gives us our baseline number, doesn't it? Ghost of Tsushima reportedly cost around $60 million to develop. 60 million, yeah. And in today's market, that number really jumps out. I mean, just for context, think about other big PlayStation sequels recently.
Like Horizon Forbidden West?
Exactly. Or The Last of Us Part 2. Both of those were reportedly way up there, over $200 million.
Wow. Okay, so that's more than 3, almost 4 times the difference. What exactly pushes those budgets so high? And how is Sucker Punch seemingly avoiding that?
Well, often those huge 9-figure budgets are about massive R&D, building brand new game engines, entirely new worlds with all new assets, maybe experimental tech that just balloons the cost and the time needed.
Gotcha. So $60 million for Yotei makes it sound like, well, a bargain, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
And the industry reaction isn't, oh, they're cutting corners. It's more like, that's efficient.
Precisely, which leads to the why, right? Why is everyone praising this apparent restraint? Well, first, it dramatically lowers the financial risk for Sony, the publisher. Lower cost means an easier path to profit. Much easier, even if it just sells well. And it also suggests the team isn't starting from absolute zero for the sequel.
Exactly. That contained budget points to them leveraging what they already built. The tech, the assets, the engine from Tsushima. They perfected that already.
So it's not just saving money, it's probably saving a lot of time too.
A huge amount of time.
Yeah.
Think about it. They get to skip years of foundational work, optimizing core tech, physics, all that stuff they already nailed.
So connecting this to the bigger picture then, it seems like maybe studios are adapting, responding to the economic climate.
It looks that way. Avoiding these potentially unsustainable budget increases we've been seeing. People are definitely watching this. Is this a blueprint for making high-quality blockbusters without breaking the bank and maybe avoiding those painful layoffs later on?
Okay, so summarizing this for you listening, the main takeaway here is that the Ghost of Yotei budget shows there might be another way, a path to create these big, polished sequels by building smarter on what exists rather than just bigger and more expensive every single time.
Yeah, it proves you don't necessarily need a $300 million gamble to make a hit sequel.
It definitely pushes back against that idea of endless budget inflation, yeah. But here's something to chew on, a question for you as you think about this. Is the strategy reusing perfected tech and assets to cut costs and risk something other big studios have to copy now as things get tighter? Or, is Sucker Punch maybe a bit of a special case here with their engine and team setup? Is it an exception or the start of a new rule?